to lifestyles, from newsmakers to pop culture. If it's Jersey, it's on Jersey Central with Burt Barron, 732-545-9282. Or toll free at 888-545-9282.
It is 8:37 on Jersey Central on the new Talk Radio 1450 WCTC, the voice of Central Jersey. I don't know what to make of this whole thing going on with Bill Cosby. I'm sickened by it. I'm upset by it. I'm disgusted by it. But I wish it would just come out and say, yeah, there's no way that this many people are kind of making up all these allegations against him. And there was even some testimony that was recently unsealed that kind of it talks about exactly what he did with all these women. Joining me now on the Raritan Bay Medical Center Jersey Newsmaker Hotline, let's welcome in a New Jersey assault expert. And she herself is also a sexual abuse survivor. And she joins us with some good information about how women can be safe and just a bunch of other good things that you need to know. She's Elaine Williams, and she joins me now on the Raritan Bay Medical Center Jersey Newsmaker Hotline. Good morning, Elaine. It's Burt Barron. How you doing today?
Hi, Bert. I'm good. Thank you so much for having me.
My pleasure. Good to talk to you. And a sexual abuse survivor yourself, no human being should ever have to endure what you did, Elaine. Let me just say that.
Well, thank you. And I always think like, oh gosh, this is such a heavy topic, but I think in some ways it's good that it's coming out because we can help raise awareness. Unfortunately, this happens a lot more than most people realize.
Yeah. So what made you want to come out and talk about this? Was it just you feel your story is one that's important to share?
Well, I started talking about, I had 3 addictions growing up, and my topics kept morphing, and my agent was like, well, can you talk about the assault stuff? And I thought about it because, at first I was like, oh, I don't know. But then I thought, you know what, if I can help people, of course. So I've been talking about sexual assault since '09, and it's interesting because I know I've helped stop some suicides, but it is a challenging, topic to talk about publicly. But I think in light of the Cosby thing, I'm inspired to speak out even more.
Sure. Why do you think the women, why did they wait so long to come forward until now? Were they just waiting for maybe someone to go first? Like when you're at an event and you don't want to be the first person to do something, you wait till somebody else does and then you all jump in. Was that maybe the reason
Well,
why somebody didn't
I
want to
think
be
part of
first?
that is that he had so much power. So, if you look at the thing, here's a young woman who's just trying to help her career along, and he had the casting couch promise. And, who wants to admit that they made a really bad judgment, by going to a hotel room or going to a dinner party where there was nobody else there? It's embarrassing. It's shameful. There's a stigma. And until recently, there was usually a lot of victim blaming.
Yeah, and it seems like we've kind of reversed that, which I think is a good thing, too. Elaine Williams is our guest. She's a New Jersey assault expert, and we're talking about some of these latest revelations about Bill Cosby and everything that's going on with him. Why do you think our culture that we live in, Elaine, there's a lot of mixed messages out there, it seems like. The social media and pop culture and just a lot of social stigmas kind of play a role in all this, in your opinion?
Absolutely. That's a great question. I think we become desensitized to sexuality. And let me say, I'm also a stand-up comic, and I'm not a prude. I love to make fun of how our culture is so uptight about sexuality, but at the same time, I think we use sex to sell everything in this country, but then we also tell people, wait till you're married, don't have too many partners. So, and where do we talk about sex in a safe environment with kids? You don't want to talk about it with your parents. You don't want to talk about it at school. You can get in trouble, or church or synagogue. The internet's creepy. Like, we have all these images coming at people, but we don't have safe forums to talk about sexuality. So I think it's very confusing for a lot of young adults.
No, I agree. Are there any things that women can do to protect themselves nowadays, Elaine? Maybe not post pictures, so many pictures of themselves on social media, or just kind of use some good everyday advice. How do women protect themselves in our society?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, don't go anywhere by yourself. Even if, trust your gut. And, if you grew up in an alcoholic environment like I did, that's hard to learn how to redo. But take a friend with you. If you're going to a party or a dinner thing, or anywhere. Just don't go anywhere by yourself. You just want to have somebody with you. And don't leave your friend unattended and don't leave your drink unattended. A lot of people think, oh, I'm just drinking water or Sprite. You're actually more of a target for predators. And the thing is, predators don't think they're doing anything wrong. A lot of predators use alcohol or drugs, and they don't think they're doing anything wrong because it's not like the rape myth of the stranger in the ski mask in the bushes. We have another mixed message there that it's like the law and order stranger in the bushes, and a lot of times it's somebody who's in the same social circle. So
I don't.
don't leave your friend unattended. Don't leave your drink unattended. Those are the two of the biggest ones.
I do not understand that thought process at all. If a guy slips a drug into a woman's drink, he doesn't think he's doing anything either illegal or immoral. Really? That's how the male mind works?
Well, for some people, if you were
Wow.
raised maybe in a single family home, if you didn't have a strong relationship with your mother or sister or your father, I think there's a lot of somebody was telling me that in high school that older upperclassmen will train younger freshman boys that that's what they do at parties.
Huh.
So that's one reason I'm hoping to speak to more teenagers instead of just the colleges, so I can get to people younger.
Yeah, this drugging of the drinks, is it a prevalent thing? I mean, Bill Cosby's not the first guy to do it. He's not going to be the last guy to do it. Does it happen a lot more often than we realize?
Yes, it does, and it happens in the many different social circles. It happened to my cousin in a very upper scale town, Dana Point in California. It happened to another friend of mine in Seattle. It A friend of mine just told me that it happened at her restaurant with her boss. And
Wow.
I think because again, the shame and the stigma of sometimes women wake up like, oh, maybe I just had too much to drink. And so they're hesitant to come forth or tell anybody about it. And that's why the typical sexual predator preys on 7 to 8 victims before they have to move or they get caught or investigated.
Unbelievable. Unbelievable. You have a website or Facebook or Twitter where people can get some more info, Elaine?
I do. I do. Elaine Williams Live. And then I am on Elaine Williams Public Figure for Facebook and Elaine underscore tweet. So
Okay.
I would love to come speak at more schools and help share the message to help keep each other safe.
Yeah, well, we'd love to have you in New Jersey at some point to talk about this. How about the comedy? You coming to New Jersey or New York anytime soon?
I am. I live in Bloomfield,
Oh,
New
perfect then.
Jersey.
Okay. Right,
Woohoo!
perfect. Right.
And I'm doing a benefit in a couple of weeks. And of course, I'm on the road right now, so I have to look at my calendar exactly where, but I'm going to be in South Central Jersey in a couple of weeks. So
Nice.
I will have that on my website.
All right, we'll keep an eye out for that. And I want to thank you for your time this morning, Elaine. Some very good advice and good information. And I got to say, for a sexual abuse survivor, you seem like you're taking everything in stride, and you're turning this into a positive for a lot of people. I give you all the credit in the world.
Oh, thank you, Bert. Thank you so much for having me. I've had a lot of support through the years.
All right, good to know. Safe trip on the road, and we'll talk soon. All right.
Thank you.
All
Thank
right,
you so much.
be well. All right, my guest Elaine Williams on the Raritan Bay.